Alrighty, welcome to another Vintage Cube Draft where we are joining an 8-player queue. These are back on Magic Online, so get them all are hot. And it's the Alpha Frog Cube. It's very cool. Frog's Cube getting the spotlight here. Ooh, and we opened an Orcish Bowmasters, also a Mana Drain and an Atraxa. So these are all good cards, but I think the Bowmasters is the best. It's very cheap, basically always good, and can be busted with the right cards. Whereas Atraxa is busted with the right cards, but not always good. Sometimes you need to work to make it good. And Mana Drain's also really good. Don't need too much to go with it, but a 2-mana counter versus a proactive play. I just think the Bowmasters is a busted card. So I'm going to take Bowmasters and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to wheel anything in particular. Maybe like a Mystical Tutor comes back or something. But happy to first pick Bowmasters. And second pick... Honestly, second pick, I'll probably just take Smuggler's Copter. I feel like taking Liliana here would be a little bit too aggressively going towards Reanimator, because that's where Liliana really shines. And it's not like Smuggler's Copter is bad there, but by taking Smuggler's Copter, a colorless card, I could be blue-black, I could be white-black, I could be red-black, I could be basically any combination of colors splashing Bowmasters, and Copter all asks that I have other creatures. It does have some requirement. There's also like a Savai Triumph, but that's not very good. Council's Judgment, Generous End. Yeah, none of these are as good as Smuggler's Copter. So we're going to take Copter and then... Ooh, is it open? Is it open? Brain Freeze could be open. I love Brain Freeze. There's also Baleful Strix and I guess Fire Ice. So my argument for taking Brain Freeze here, and look, I know. It's like, why are you trying to convince us? We know you're going to take the Brain Freeze. Here's the thing. Taking Baleful Strix or Fire Ice or Imperial Seal, I think the upside of those is so much smaller than the Brain Freeze. I think Baleful Strix is probably the second best card in the pack for me. It does work nicely. A blue-black aggro deck or a blue-black like mid-range deck with Bowmaster, Smuggler's Copter, and Baleful Strix is very good. But if you ever get past Underworld Breach with Brain Freeze, it's just so potent. That said, I mean, it is pretty tempting. The Copter really does push me in the direction. You know what? I'm going to do something different today. I'm going to take the Baleful Strix over the Brain Freeze and hopefully not regret it. Oh, a nice pick up here. I actually think Deep Cavern Bat is next. 1/1 flying lifelink, it's a Mesmeric Fiend. It eats a card out of their hand till this dies, but it crews Copter nicely. And now I'm really looking for Fallin Shinobi. I'll have 3 2-drop creatures that completely enable it. Passing up on Blood Crypt and Jite and Charticourse, but I think Deep Cavern Bat is excellent. Oh, there's the Fallen Shinobi. All right, I'm not going to even risk it wheeling. This is the perfect Shinobi deck. I've got 3 evasive creatures, plus Bowmasters basically counts because you play at end of turn, maybe kill a blocker, and you have a 1/1, plus another 1/1. Passing up on Wooded Foothills, but slamming Fallen Shinobi. And going to follow it up with a Dark Ritual. Turn 2 Bowmasters or Baleful Strix, turn 3 Ritual Shinobi. If I get a 1-drop like a... Evolved Sleeper, turn 1 Evolved Sleeper, turn 2 Dark Ritual Shinobi. Take that over Spellseeker here. And so far have been pretty happy about the Brain Freeze Baleful Strix pick, especially since here, I think I'm going to follow up with a Ponder. Ponder's a great card. I don't have red yet, so Steam Vents isn't necessary. And I'm not in a position to take Channel or Othari or Pentad Prism. Oh, perfect. Daze is exactly what this deck's looking for. Blue-black aggro is a really fun archetype. I love when this deck comes together. I might just Winter Orb here. It can really, really hose some decks. I'm not going to play Oath. I could be Reanimator, so there is a good reason to consider Ashen Rider. I already have a Smuggler's Copter as a discard outlet. But I think Winter Orb is such a good sideboard card. When you're aggressive, Winter Orb is just really good. You just play against a slower deck and you play that and it can effectively destroy multiple lands. Sometimes even better because... you get to a long game where the Winter Orb is costing them so much mana. And presumably you are the aggressor, you have creatures in play, you don't need to spend your mana quite as much. I'm not in Tendrils. I'm not in the market for Tendrils. I think I'll just take Savai Triumph in case I do want to splash something. I guess I should just probably take Una's Prowler here. It's good with Fallen Shinobi, and if I end up Reanimator, it's fine. I'll put it in the sideboard too. The Winter Orb and the Prowler, I think, are cards I'd rather start out with in the side. And we're just focusing here. What we want is cards like Duress, Force of Will, Spell Pierce, just good blue-black control cards. Some removal, so like Fatal Push or Snuff Out would be good. And then things like Thief of Sanity or other low curve blue and black creatures that can attack the opponent work out nicely, but I'm really excited about this deck. Really glad I took Baleful Strix into Fallin Shinobi. After all that talk, I didn't end up brain freezing. But so far that's worked out. Haven't seen Breach or Lion's Eye, so the Baleful Strix is just the absolute perfect card. Oh, the other thing I'm missing, which I haven't seen any of yet, is blue-black lands. I don't think I've even passed up on any of those, so I'm pretty happy with this start. This is a first 11 cards in, so we're basically the whole pack in. I don't really expect to get much out of the rest of the pack. Though here we have an Agatha's Soul Cauldron. I guess I'm going to take that because there's a chance that I want to side that in against Reanimator. And maybe if I got the right cards, I could play it. The best combo is Gristlebrand. I guess I'll take the Citadel in case maybe I end up with Tinker Deck. I already have some cheap artifacts, and I don't think Greaves is a big deal. I don't really care which one of these I take. Last pick Othari, so just no one's playing red-white, I guess? All right. Pack 2 time, and what do we got? We have a Jace the Mind Sculptor. Exhume, but not really an Exhume deck. Night's Whisper, I think, is worse than Jace. The best card in the pack is Fury, and I can't really play that, so I'll just take Jace. Really would love to wheel Baleful Strix, Brazen Borrower, if possible. I don't think Night's Whisper is that likely to wheel. I'd rather have Borrower anyway. It's so good with Shinobi. All right, we'll just take Jace here. Not the most exciting. There's the Underworld Breach, but I'm not even going to talk about it. There's Urza here, and there's Mana Vault. I guess I should probably just take Mana Vault. It's not the cleanest Mana Vault deck, but it can cast a turn 2 Jace. It can get me a fast Fallen Shinobi. I guess turn 1 land Mana Vault Smuggler's Copter, turn 2 Crew Copter is also pretty good. This just doesn't really look like an Urza deck so much, so I'll take that over Misty Rainforest and Urza. And what else we got? Frantic Search. Oh, Bitter Triumph. I like this one a lot. It's a removal spell. It kills a creature or a planeswalker, and you just have to pay 3 life. You can also discard a card, which if I do end up reanimating, I might have like a small reanimation package between Copter and Bitter Triumph. That could work. I'm not reanimator enough to take Frantic Search. Walking Ballista is also an interesting one if that does wheel, which I don't think it will, because Agatha's Soul Cauldron plus Walking Ballista is a nice combo. Okay, so here we have the first decision. Do I take Recurring Nightmare or Inquisition? Because Recurring Nightmare is obviously a reanimate card. I do have a Copter and a Bitter Triumph. I also have Baleful Strix and Bowmasters as great cards to sack 2 Recurring Nightmare. They help fuel it, but I have nothing to bring back yet. And as much as I hate Inquisition, this just looks more like an Inquisition deck. I'm just going to take that. Now there's a bunch of cards I want. There's Fatal Push, Hymn to Turok, Snapcaster Mage, From the Catacombs, Thieving Skydiver, and Verdant Catacombs. In fact, 4, 6, and Currency Converter. As long as someone takes Hero of Bladehold and Titan of Industry, that I might 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, I need someone to take Sacred Foundry, Hero of Bladehold, or Titan, so I get another card out of this pack. What do I want here? Snapcaster with Ponder, Inquisition, Bitter Triumph seems pretty good. Let's go with Snapcaster. If we wheel one of the black cards, that would be excellent. Oh, and there's an Entomb. I mean, it's Entomb or Troll of Khazad-dûm. I don't think I have the mana for Reckoner Bankbuster. I think I just take Entomb here. No one drafts Reanimator. It's so weird. I guess I will take it, and if I end up picking up stuff to reanimate, that's fine. If I don't, that's also fine. Like here, yeah, I'll take Shallow Grave. So now I have Shallow Grave and Entomb. Passing up on a Ravenous Chupacabra. Atrox has gone, but Gristlebrand is not. All right, I guess I'm glad I pivoted. So now I would trade Inquisition for Recurring Nightmare, but I still actually like where we're at here. This is an aggro Reanimator deck that just happens to have Entomb and Shallow Grave in it. Plus, Shallow Grave Fallen Shinobi? Okay, so we're looking pretty good. I feel like, the Una's Prowler's got to get back in. I feel like pack 3, and I picked up Gristlebrand, so Agatha's Soul Cauldron, because if you have a Gristlebrand in the graveyard and you exile it to the Soul Cauldron, you just give one of your creatures the pay 7 life, draw 7 cards ability, which that can be pretty good. I also have Dark Ritual and Mana Vault. I could maybe cast Gristle. So Brazen Borrower, Night's Whisper, and Exhume all wheeled. Pack 3's got to be great. I'll just take Exhume now. Now that I have Entomb, Exhume, Una's Prowler, and Gristlebrand, I mean, Could we wheel Recurring Nightmare? That seems like a possibility. What about Frantic Search? That seems less so. Someone else is going to want that one for sure. All right, well, I really do like where we're at here. This is looking like a very solid deck. Still haven't seen Watery Grave or a Zagoth Triumph or an Underground Sea, though we have seen some fetches. So Persist doesn't work because my only reanimate target is a legend. There's also Pylon and Red-Black Talisman. There's also Serra Emissary, but I don't think this card's very good. I might just Persist in case... No, I'll just take Pylon. Pylon looks totally fine. I'll hate Prismatic Ending, sure. Pylon, I have also like Bowmasters makes multiple creatures. Our Recurring Nightmare did indeed wheel. All right, well, we are set up to have a really nice one here. Let's see. Fatal Push and him both in the pack here. I think him is just so good. I'm going to take him. Oh, I also picked up Pylon as removal. Here, I'll hit a Salvador's last pick, Rabblemaster, huh? All right, pack 3 time. I'm expecting good things out of this pack. We'll start with a Mox Jet. That's a great thing. Passing the Hull Breacher, but that's okay. Mox Jet is just the nuts. Bone Shard's almost assuredly going to wheel because people are going to take Mox Diamond, Vista, Comet, Hull Breacher, Mana Leak, Skyclave, basically for sure. And then probably like Sylvan Library, Magda, Titania, Talisman are all on the list, with Bone Shards being effectively a free square. I mean, we'll see, but if no one took any of these, like Recurring Nightmare wheeled, Exhume wheeled, him wheeled, like, feels pretty good. I might not be playing the Soul Cauldron, we'll see. And I don't think Savai Triumph still does anything. All right, what do we got? So there's Duress and Spell Pierce. So not the like most exciting second pick, but I think I'll just take Duress here. I also am going to try to minimize blue. I'm not going to cut it entirely probably, but right now I just have, like if you fold these in, I have 5 blue cards. No, the problem is, I mean, it's not a problem, but the reality is I don't really see a world where I don't play Fallen Shinobi, Baleful Strix, Snapcaster. So I'm still going to play those blue cards, but I do really like Duress, so I'll take that. Now I'll take Necromancy over Seasoned Dungeoneer. Dungeoneer is good. I could use one more big creature. I would really like to find another one. Atrox has already gone, unfortunately, but we still have Itali wandering around, and the dream, of course, would be Archon of Cruelty. I wonder if I could have tried to wheel the Necromancy. Feels a little ambitious. I would kill for a blue-black land. I'm probably going to take Probe here. I like Probe in general. I don't think Phyrexian Metamorph is really what I'm looking for. Yeah, and I don't think Hard Evidence is either. All right, now there's a Grave Titan, and I kind of like that because Grave Titan I can just cast off Mana Vault and Dark Ritual, and it's also a pretty good card to reanimate. So Grave Titan kind of fits the bill, passing up Virtue, Evolve Sleeper, which I'm sure is going to wheel, Stern Scolding. Okay, so now there's Subtlety versus Toxic Deluge. I like Toxic Deluge more in general. Subtlety is kind of nice as a pitch card when you have Gristlebrand. Drawing cards you can play for free is always nice. Also, this deck's got a lot of creatures in it. I kind of think I just Subtlety here. We're going to see 0 blue-black lands. This is this is wild. I don't think we saw Underground Sea, Watery Grave, or even any blue-black Triomes. I'm not playing any of the cards here. I guess I could take Woe Strider. All right, well, I'm going to have to cut a couple cards here because right now this is effectively 14 land, maybe 15 if you count Mana Vault plus Dark Rituals like 1 land. So I need to cut a couple cards. I might have to just cut Jace just due to mana issues. This deck is not going to have a lot of double blue. Maybe Subtlety as well. Though Subtlety is nice because it can pitch the blue cards. So, I mean, something like this could be solid, and then I'll just have to play like 10-7. Or I guess it would be 9-10-6 because I'm playing 16 land total, counting Mox Jet as a swamp, obviously. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't think there's much of a way around that. Now, I don't know why there's so little time, but I think I'll take Malcolm. Malcolm seems like it's pretty good here. And then Comet Wield, because I guess people just don't know what it does. But I'll take Talisman, which I don't even really like Talisman, but I do want a land. Or a mana fixer. And I guess I take Badlands here. Well, I'm just not going to splash red. There's just no reason to do that. So I guess I'll take Sir Ginger that I might side in. Wow, there's a Seasoned Engineer with 5 cards left. I guess the cards that are just kind of weird or you haven't seen before, people just don't know how good they are. Do I want Custody Lich or Mesmeric Fiend? I think I'd rather have Custody Lich here. And then I'll just take a Golos that I'm not going to play. Okay, well, I can cut the Pylon pretty easily. I could cut the Daze. I just feel like I'm not going to have enough. Oh, wow. Evolved Sleeper didn't wheel, but Stern Scolding did. Funny. All right, well, let's take the Stern Scolding and let's hit an Elf and last pick Omnath. Well, so I do think I want to get the Talisman in there. It's really not the best Talisman deck, but I think that's okay. So I need to cut one card here. And I'm trying to minimize blue as best I can. I think Malcolm's still probably pretty good. Flash Flyer that lets you discard a card. It's really good with Shinobi too. I mean, I like all the spells I have. I could cut Probe just because Probe... I don't really have any combos with Probe besides obviously seeing that the way is clear. I guess Snapcaster is a nice combo with Probe. I don't want to cut any creatures, and for that reason I also want to keep the Malcolm in there and the Custody Lich. And right now I think I'll have... I want to play 15 lands plus Mox Jet and then these things. I think that means I do cut Probe. Okay, I would have liked one more creature and 2 more blue-black lands instead of 0 is crazy. But looking at sorting by color here, yeah, I mean, all black cards basically. So let's go 12 and 3. It's probably not. It's probably like... So if I do 10 and 5, I'll have 11 black sources and 6 blue sources. Should I just cut Ponder too? Hold on. What if I just cut Ponder and then played Pylon instead? Yeah, that's probably better. And then I feel okay about the 6 blue sources here. Oh, I guess that leaves 12 black. Now I can afford 1 more blue. All right. Let's do this. This deck is solid. I think that after pack 2, it was reasonable to expect a better pack 3 because after pack 2, I wheeled Recurring Nightmare. I got like a 6th pick Entomb or 5th pick Entomb, whatever it was, and wheeled Exhume. It was clear no one's drafting the strategy at all. And then pack 3, I saw 0 blue-black lands, which I get other people are going to take those. I'm not saying no one's drafting blue and black. And I didn't see any reanimate cards except for a Grave Titan after getting like a 7th pick Gristlebrand. And then, I mean, I did pick up a Necromancy, which is good. Obviously, I opened Mox Jet, which is fantastic. But given how open this was at this table, I feel like this deck could have been a little bit better. Like, it doesn't need much. This deck is very good. Just anytime you have Dark Ritual, Entomb, Animates, have the Bowmasters, have all that stuff, you have a good deck. And I have a Mox Jet and a Mana Vault, so I can have some explosive starts. But if you added a Watery Grave, a Fetch Land, and like an Atali, this deck would get quite a bit better. Okay, what do we got here? Well, I'm going to keep this hand. I do need to find my Gristlebrand or Grave Titan. Okay. In order for the Exhumed Una's Prowler plan to work. I'm just going to take the Fairy Mastermind. It's a little awkward with Exhume, I know, but I might not cast this Exhume for a while, so I don't really want to... Would you Robber of the Rich? Ugh. All right, don't exile my Gristlebrand, please, I guess. Let's see what they hit. They hit Entomb. Yep, that would have been great. Oh, Orcish Bowmasters is great, though. So let's pass here, and let's hope that... They're probably not going to cast Consider before attacking, but it would be sick if they did. Okay, so in response to Robber, I'm going to cast Bowmasters. They have to Consider in response now. They left the card on top. I don't like that. Oh, wait, no, sorry, that wasn't a Dragon's Rage Channeler trigger. That was a Monastery Swiftspear trigger. They did leave the card on top, though. All right, I'm going to ping the Robber, and then my plan is to just block Robber of the Rich with my Orc Army token. And they hit Island. Okay, that was good at least. And if they have a burn spell, they have to burn the Orc army to save it, which is not the most exciting. Okay, they could cast Entomb now if they really wanted to. Skull Clamp, okay. That's not the strongest with Bowmasters in play, but maybe they have an answer to Bowmasters. Okay, draw Custodial Lich, but I have 3 islands. Oh, classic. All right, well, let's play this, and let's hit with the Bowmasters, because I'm not blocking with it. They have a 2/1 Monastery Swiftspear that if it dies, they draw 2 cards. I guess I'll just take it again. I don't really want to block here, especially since I would kind of like to keep the Prowler in play for drawing Gristlebrand purposes. All right, Swamp. Let's cast Mana Vault. I think I'm going to cast the Custodial Lich here and see what happens. Obviously, they could have a counterspell. Okay, I become the Monarch. They sack a creature. They draw 2 here, but that does trigger my Bowmasters. So I get to ping them for 2 and then make some tokens. And then I kind of think I just attack. All right. They drew a bunch of nonsense and they're done. Cool. Playing against red, I mean, that's where like stuff like Stern Scolding is good, but Wind Orb certainly is not. I don't think I want to change my mana base here to account for that. My matchup against red should still be pretty good. Like, I've got Gristlebrand and Grave Titan as pretty sick animates. I have Inquisition and Duress as early disruption, and Bowmasters is fantastic. Yeah, this hand looks pretty good. So here my plan is to go turn 2 Smuggler's Copter, turn 3 land, play Talisman, Deep Cavern Bat-U. Okay. And then attack with Smuggler's Copter. So I guess I would like to draw a land in the next 2 draw steps. It's not a disaster if I don't, but it's just a lot better if I do. Turn 1, consider getting rid of an island. Totally fine. And let's see if they've got an aggressive start. They look like red-blue tempo from what I've seen. So I expect something here. Oh, JVP. Okay. Mana Vault. Oh. Yeah, I guess we're just going to do that then. We'll go Deep Cavern Bat and then Smuggler's Copter. So Grim Lavamancer, Mishra's Bauble, Inti, Seneschal of the Sun, huh? I'm going to take the Grim, play the Copter, pass the turn. Grim Lavamancer threatens the Deep Cavern Bat. Inti is good, but I also have Pylon if I need to. Though I don't have it yet. And I might be able to set up this Recurring Nightmare at some point. They have a bit of a combo with Inti, Seneschal of the Sun. So they're going to play their Bauble. The Grim's already gone. They get to loot with Jace and then exile their top card to Inti, and they hit an island. Okay, which they got to play. Cool. All right, well, I know they have one mountain left in hand. Okay, pass the turn. Would still like to draw a land here, but I do get to have a couple looks at it first. Okay, there is land. Let's crew the Copter and attack. Draw something big? No. I kind of think I just discard Recurring Nightmare here. I feel like Necromancy is going to be a lot of what I want, and I'm just worried that against a red deck here, I'm not going to be able to stick a creature. So let's just pass here, because I can play Malcolm as an instant. And now they can flip Jace to cast Consider. I am, of course, keeping up Orcish Bowmaster mana, though they don't know that I don't have it. And I think I'm going to want to use Pylon on Inti here relatively soon. Okay, and they exiled a Spellseeker. Okay, so I do get to go cast that. They can also attack and discard a card to give this a +1/+1 counter. They're shrinking the bat, so it can't crew the copter anymore. So I won't necessarily be able to attack with Malcolm and the Smuggler's Copter here. They're playing a land. Okay. I wonder if they're planning on discarding here. Because they already played a land. Now they're discarding a Voldaren Epic here. Because they have a Spellseeker they can already cast this turn, and now they have a Restless Spire, so now they can't play that. So, yeah, I didn't really get playing the land first, to be honest. Because I think they're going to want to cast Spellseeker here. And let's see what they're leaving up blue. Do they have Ancestral to go get? That would be unfortunate. That would make sense. Yep, they do have Ancestral Recall. So, all right, they can cast it in response to Malcolm here because they were probably worried about the Bowmasters. Oh, if they don't cast it here, that is crazy. What if I draw Orcish Bowmasters? Okay. I didn't. I mean, I could Necromancy their Voldaren Epic here, but I don't think... Oh, actually, that's not bad. Let's just do that. We still... You know, I don't have Exhume left if I do that. Okay. Now they cast it. Yeah, that was really wildly greedy on their part to not cast it when I was tapped out here. Because the Epic here... Oh, they're going to Force of Negation me. Sure. So I could kill Inti here with Pile On, but then I wouldn't get to attack. That doesn't seem like it's very good for me. I'm going to crew with Malcolm here. And I'm going to attack the Jace for 3. This way also, if they want to flashback Ancestral Recall, it's going to cost Jace. All right, and I think I play my land. It feels like with the Pylon in hand, I'm going to want to play the land. It's a little tricky because I have a bunch of looters. Okay. So it feels like if I draw Orcish Bowmasters, this matchup's going to get a lot easier. Okay, these attack. Opponent has seen 10 more cards than I have or so. They discard a land. They hit island. I get hit for 5 down to 9 here. And it's not like my draw was bad. Turn 2 Deep Cavern Bat plus Smuggler's Copter is not a bad start, but Jace into Inti into Spellseeker Ancestral has put them pretty far ahead, so it looks like we're going to have a game 3 here. I think if I had like immediately drawn Gristlebrand and reanimated it on turn 3, then yeah, sure, that would have been a lot easier of a game, but that is very much not what happened. Burst Lightning the Bat. You get back the Grim, play the Grim, and I'm basically dead here. Oh, never mind. I can't crew, but I can attack with Malcolm. Okay, this is gonna have to be the Fallen Shinobi to end all Fallen Shinobis, but let's see if it works out here. Sneak in a Shinobi. You take 5 going down to 12, and I gotta hit some good stuff. All right, it hit them. Let's see what we got. Ooh, 2 lands after all that. All right. Well, there probably were a combination of hits that would work, but it certainly wasn't that. And do I want Stern Scolding on the play? Also, Sir Ginger against Flipped Jace is kind of cute, but I don't think that's very good. I do still want Duress. No, I think we're good the way we are here. And let's see if we can get there. All right, what do we got? Oh, this is a nice hand. It is missing both a discard outlet and a reanimator effect, but I basically am not going to mulligan a hand that has Orcish Bowmasters, Swamp Island. Like, Orcish Bowmasters and 2 lands is enough against this particular opponent to make me want to keep it. Okay, Voldaren Epic here, sure. Okay, haven't seen any counters besides Force of Negation, so I think I'm just going to wait on this for a sec. I can take out the Epicure anytime I want. And I'm going to take one. They haven't seemed so burn heavy that like taking 1 or 2 damage from the Epicure is going to be a disaster. Okay, let's see what they got. I don't want this to be Jace or Inti. I would like this to be a card draw spell. Oh, Third Path Iconoclast. No, we take that. That is acceptable. Boom. Kill that. Draw. Oh, and I drew Fallin Shinobi. Oh, let's get in there. I'm going to Dark Ritual Fallin Shinobi. Who do I bring back? I guess I just bring back the Bowmasters. That's got to be better. All right, what do we hit? 2 lands again? Come on. All right, fine. Look, if they can't kill Fallen Shinobi, I've got Bowmasters to kill the Epicure and Pylon to kill the next blocker, so it still might be totally fine here. I would imagine we're in very good shape. But I've hit for 4 cards of Fallen Shinobi, and all of them have been lands. I want some action. Where's my action? You know, maybe I should have just played the Mountain instead. Because if I Fallen Shinobi like a Grim Lavamancer, I guess it would have been better to have the Mountain in play. Oh, they're debating whether to pay the life on Steam Vents. I like that. All right, let's hope that they just have a blocker and not like a Char or something here. But we will see. Saheeli? Okay, you have to have Mishra's Bauble, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, you cannot crack that Mishra's Bauble. If you crack that Mishra's Bauble, you are just conceding the game. Let's see what they do. Because if they crack that Mishra's Bauble, I'm going to, in response to the trigger on my upkeep, play Bowmasters and kill both their creatures. There's a chance here that I still Bowmasters and then pile on the remaining creature. Oh, opponent. I'm sorry, opponent, for what is about to happen. I'm not actually, but upkeep Bauble goes on the stack. You can't force a negation of this either. You have to have Force of Will. Bowmasters that. Bauble trigger resolves. Bowmasters that. Attack you for 8. Don't care about Saheeli at this point. Hit and Fallen Shinobi into a Robber of the Rich and an island. You know, I still think I'll play the island, sure. And then I guess I will pile on the Saheeli. And Graveyard, I'll put Necromancy on top. Not that it matters. All right, we are 1-0. Alrighty, time for round 2, playing against the Mayor of Pentrel. This is a 1-landing hand, but it's on the draw. I have Mana Vault. I also have Gristlebrand plus Discard Outlet. This is Copter. All right, I'm going to keep this hand. This hand just needs 1 land to really start firing smoothly, and even if I don't draw a land, I go Swamp, Mana Vault. Turn 2, I can go Copter plus Prowler, and hopefully the Copter finds me some lands. I guess in the event that I don't draw a land and they kill the Un's Prowler, then yeah, things could get bad. But this hand basically already works without drawing a land right away, and it's got extra draws to do so. Plus, as soon as I draw 1 Swamp, I can hymn them. So definitely a solid hand. Let's see what they are up to here. I would actually even rather be on the play with this hand, even on the 1 land train here. Mana Vault, oh, they probe, so they see what I've got. Acceptable. And if I drew Moxjet, then I can play turn 1 Copter. If I draw Moxjet, technically I could play turn 1 Copter and Prowler, but I probably wouldn't do that. Well, I don't like what all's going on over here. Turn 1 Dashed Ragavan. Yeah, all right. It's not good for me, I will say that. Let's see what they hit here. They hit a Swamp. Okay. And this is where Snuff Out would be would be great. All right, let's play Mana Vault. And I can't really afford to play the Smuggler's Copter here, because then if I don't draw a land, I can't do anything with it. So I'd rather just wait a turn and hope that their Ragavan doesn't hit anything too good. But now they're up multiple treasures. It's going to be very hard to win this game. I mean, land Mox Ragavan on the play is just a hard thing to beat regardless. I wouldn't have needed to been on the play myself to have a better chance. Sensei's Divining Top. Academy? Okay. Yeah. Now we're basically just dead into Narset. Okay. Let's Narset into something. What do you got? So I can't even loot. I guess against Narset, if I want, I could choose to Smuggler's Copter and discard the revealed Winter Orb. And they're hard casting Ragavan instead of using a treasure. That doesn't really make too much sense because they get the treasure back right away. All right, well, I drew an Exhume, which isn't actually that bad. So let's go Copter, Una's Prowler, and then now I can Exhume Gristlebrand next turn if I draw a land. But, I mean, Gristlebrand still doesn't even do anything against Narset, but at least now we've stopped the Ragavan beatdowns. The Winter Orb in their hand doesn't really matter. I obviously think we're still losing this game really badly. They have an Academy in play, and they have up to like 7 mana, and I'm on 1 mana. So, yeah, I'm not winning, but there is a world where they like miss on Narset or hit like a mana rock, miss on top. I draw land. I don't know. I'm actually finding it hard to come up with scenarios that would lead me to win this game, but obviously I can't concede right here. I'd probably concede to like any very good play, but we'll make them have it first. I don't know, a Tinker or a Planeswalker or something. Minskin Boo. Okay, well, Winter Orb is not that big of a deal because I don't even have 2 lands in play. Wheel of Fortune with Narset in play. Yeah, okay, that'll be enough. I mean, that's ridiculous hand. Daze, Subtlety. Sir Ginger against Narset is kind of nice. And I guess I could take out Custody Lich is a little slow. Do I want to put any of the blue in? I don't think. Let's see what we can do here. Just, I guess, be on the play and open with Moxjet. That would be helpful. Sir Ginger into Fallen Shinobi. You have no creatures in play, then all of a sudden they're getting attacked by a Gingerbread Knight, and that turns into a Fallen Shinobi. All right, well, this doesn't have a Mox or anything, but opening hand with Orcish Bowmasters is always a nice sight. And if I can go turn 2 Bowmasters into Malcolm or something, that would be pretty good. I mean, if they don't play a Bowmaster target, then I'll lead on Malcolm, actually. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully they don't wheel or anything this turn, and then next turn I'm able to maybe Bowmasters in response to a draw 7, if that's the way it's going to go down. But we'll see. Really? Turn 1, just wheel? Oh, Narset. Okay. Narset is not as bad. Though obviously this is still a ridiculous draw. Let's see what they've got off their Narset here. Helm of Awakening, sure. Oh, if they play Helm, I actually wouldn't mind that. I might. So now do I Sir Ginger them or Bowmasters? It's tough. I feel like it's just better to Sir Ginger them here and attack Narset, because this protects me from a draw 7, but also keeps them from drawing off Narset. Like, they hit Helm, they might be out of gas. Their hand is Helm and 2 other cards. Maybe they just don't have a draw 7 yet. So I feel like it is better just to do that. Good sideboard technology. And if we can fade a draw 7 for one more turn, then we can get a Bowmasters in play. Augur of Autumn. Okay. They hit a land. Hopefully they don't have more because they have Fast Bond. Oh, they're going to Ragavan me. That's not that big of a deal. Let's hope they don't hit anything too good. Okay, they hit a Swamp. In their hand is Helm of Awakening, Ragavan, and one unknown card. Land would still be nice here. Not even going to cast that. I will attack though. I want to incentivize them to play Ragavan next turn into my Bowmasters. So, and I don't think Inquisitioning is the play here. Because look, if they had a better play than Augur, they would have played it. Augur wasn't that strong of a play. It's just okay. And if they draw a draw 7, having Bowmasters up is obviously great. And Bowmasters answers their Ragavan. So, okay, they hit one land. Let's hope they don't hit too many more. They have 4 cards in hand. Ragavan, Helm, 2 unknowns. They're not going to play the Helm until they have a good combo turn. So I'm not expecting them to play it now, especially since I'm stuck on 2 lands here. Okay, Ragavan comes in, does Augur, who knows? All right, well, I'll cast the Bowmasters. Ping the Ragavan. All right, now any card draw is going to get punished by the Bowmasters. And there's Courser of Krufix, okay. And their top card's a Mox Diamond. All right, and their hand is Helm plus 1 unknown. So I can't get rid of their... land is good. I can't get rid of both of their things, so it doesn't really help to get rid of any of them. I think I Inquisition them because I can still play Malcolm and pile on. Oh, Manamorphose. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. You can keep Helm. Helm doesn't do much. Pass, and then... All right, they're currently at no spells. Let's see, they draw a Mox Diamond, they hit Triumph, but, you know, they get to play that, sure. They get to play a Mountain, sure. Oh, they're not playing the Mountain? What? That's ridiculous. Okay. I don't even know. They have Fast Bond in play. They can play as many lands as they want. They can play cards off the top. I think maybe they just didn't realize how their cards worked or something, but I guess I'll take it. I could attack with Sir Ginger if I kill the Courser, but I don't really have a strong reason to do that quite yet. I'm just going to discard Una's Prowler because I'm just going to cast Grave Titan next turn. And pass the turn. I'll probably end up killing the Courser soon here. Their top card's Upheaval. Okay. So I need to do as much damage to them as possible before they Upheaval. They could have had Upheaval this turn. Like, what is going on? Now they're playing a Mox and discarding a land for no reason? I'm probably still going to lose this game, honestly. And they played the Helm? So now I can play cards for cheaper? Sure. Let's go pile on the Courser and then hope to hit something. Fallen Shinobi? Any Fallen Shinobis? Yes. I'll keep Recurring Nightmare on top too, but we're gonna get some Fallen Shinobi action going here. Attack with these two. You're just not gonna block. Fallen Shinobi doesn't get cheaper, unfortunately. Just return Sir Ginger. Hit with this. Take 7. Let's actually put the Fallen Shinobi on the stack first. So Upheaval and I guess now I can just discard the Grave Titan. Upheaval and Probe, huh? So I'll probe you. You have no cards, so I just draw. What does Upheaval do here? Doesn't sound good for me. Yeah, this doesn't seem like it does much, so let's just cast... Oh, there's the stupid Helm out. I could have put a Grave Titan into play. Not that it matters a ton because they're one turn away from just dying anyway, but clearly it would have been better just to play Grave Titan here. Windswept Teeth? Okay, so they're done for then. Oh no, that was off the top. They drew a spell and then Windswept Teeth into land. I mean, I guess they could play a draw 7 and do something here. They clearly have outs. All right, well, that was odd how that all worked out. Stern Scolding actually doesn't sound crazy because they have Courser, Augur, Ragavan, but I still don't think I should play that. Winter Orb is interesting too, but they have Academy and a bunch of Moxes, so I don't like that either. I think I just have to have a really good draw. Good strategy. Always a good strategy. Hey, look, I've got Dark Ritual, Moxjet, Mana Vault in my deck. This deck's capable of some pretty nice draws. Let's see. And Bowmasters is a huge problem for them. They don't appear to have any way to remove it. And when it's in play, it really does mess with a lot of their stuff. All right, I'll keep this hand. Look, I'm on the draw. I get to go Inquisition on turn 1. If I draw a land, I can play one of my 3 different 2-drops, and then I'm setting up for either an early Fallin Shinobi or a Necromancy. I feel like this hand is better than a random 6. Okay, turn 1 Candelabra. And if I draw a Moxjet, ooh, baby. No, Island is good, though. Let's go Inquisition. Let's see what they've got. Fastball, Tolarian Academy, and Reckoner Bankbuster. All right, well, I'm going to take the Bankbuster. And now their hand is basically not functional. They can't cast Fastball. Their Academy is just an island. The Candelabra doesn't do anything. They have a mountain in hand. Okay, they drew Forest, which was a good draw in the sense that they can play Fastball and play their cards now. But they still now don't have any cards they can actually cast. They should definitely play their cards in case if I went Swamp him and they didn't play their lands, that would be pretty funny. All right, playing at least the Academy is reasonable. Still want that Mox, though. Let's go Una's Prowler. This way, if I draw a Gristlebrand, I can immediately just Necromancy it on 3. And in the event that I don't, the most likely event, I can go Talisman, Surge Injure. Because they drew the green, they could cast a Courser here. Did they really draw Wheel of Fortune? Are you kidding me? Okay. Sure. They drew green for Fastball and then immediately drew Wheel. And I drew 6 lands and a Bowmasters. Well, so it goes. So it goes. Them having Fastball in play and wheeling after the hand I left them with Inquisition is really impressive. At least their Academy doesn't have for extra mana. At least. What am I hoping to draw here even? This hand is so bad. My Fallen Shinobi's even gone. I mean, I guess an Exhume would be okay. I could Exhume back a Fallen Shinobi and pass. They're down to 3 cards in hand. Let's see what they've got going. They get a Trop. And then they're going to play one of their land playing things. Oh, they're playing a Mind Stone. Okay, and then 4 mana. This might be a Candelabra usage. Yeah. Untap Academy. 5 into Teferi Temporal Pilgrim. Okay. No, draw a card and put a counter on it. All right. All right. We've got outs. I really need to draw a spell here. Him would be awesome. It's really unbelievable. The way this game has gone is really, really something. All right, I'm going to attack Teferi here and see if they discard a card. If they have a bad card in hand, they should discard it. Yeah. All right, Teferi goes down to 4. Pass the turn, I guess. Okay, so they get spotted that loyalty counter, but now if they draw, then I'm going to Bowmasters here. All right, Orcish Bowmasterinos. And they're going to crack Mindstone in response, sure. Oh, I guess I should have just played Bowmaster main phase, but then they might not have done the first activation, so I don't know. Their Academy is back down to just 1 mana, which which I don't mind. Okay. Orc hits. I'm going to ping the Teferi here. I'm going to draw. I'm going to ping the Teferi here. I mean, I can try to get the Teferi off the board is like a big part of what I need to do here. Mox Diamond. Okay, that's not very good. I mean, if they have Upheaval, then yeah, I lose pretty badly. Okay, no plays. All right, draw a spell, please. Okay, Hymn to Turok is interesting. Actually, yeah, it doesn't play well with Una's Prowler, but it only saves 1 point of damage, and I really would not want to walk into like a flash creature or something here. What is this? Hullbreaker Horror? Unsurprisingly, they did not discard Una's Prowler. All right. Attack Teferi down to 2 and nothing else. All right. If they draw a spell, then they get to do some things. They're pretty close to having infinite mana if they draw a cheap spell. Because if Candelabra basically taps for a mana, if you draw a different 0 that's not Mox Diamond, like a normal Mox, then you get to bounce Candelabra plus the 0 with Hullbreaker and get infinite mana. That doesn't necessarily do much. You have to have a card that also does something. All right, well, now they have infinite mana if they want. Okay, they do not want. They apparently don't have use for that, which is good. I mean, if I draw Recurring Nightmare, if I draw Grave Titan, like, obviously, like, a Hullbreaker Horror in play is pretty dangerous. If I draw Pylon, honestly, I could win this game. Exhume. They don't have any creatures, and I have a Fallen Shinobi. Oh, and I have a Sir Ginger. Yeah, let's Exhume. I'm going to get Sir Ginger back. As dorky as that is, I need to kill the Teferi. Attack Teferi. Attack my opponent. I'm just banking on them not having any cards. Okay, they discarded a card to Una's Prowler. All right, Teferi's down. It's Hullbreaker Horror versus my team. I can't really say that I'm ahead here, but Narset immediately, huh? Yeah, that is a thing. They bounce the Bowmasters. Okay. Yeah, that's a legal play you could make, I guess, but not a very good one. All right. Now I get to replay the Bowmasters. So now they're going to Narset. The question is, do I play the Bowmasters in response to Narset? I kind of think I do. So it's tricky, though, because if they draw a counterspell, certainly I would have rather played Bowmasters in response. If they draw Upheaval, I guess it doesn't matter because I can still replay it one more time. All right, yeah, I'll play the Bowmasters then. And I think I'm going to ping the Narset here. All right, let's see what Narset hits. Hopefully it's not too good. Upheaval would be the worst card for me. I would just lose if it was an Upheaval. I guess I can't really concede to an Upheaval because, let's just say my opponent has demonstrated they are capable of making strange decisions, but I don't think I could really beat an Upheaval. And now they have multiple good cards, so they're thinking of them. Or they have multiple bad cards. I guess I have to hope it's that. Because Upheaval, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, they just have enough mana to Upheaval replay everything with Fast Bond. They hit Char. Okay. Char is a card, I suppose. And Char the Bowmasters. Sure. Bouncing the token. All right. It's going to be on me. I mean, the sick part about this game is if that wheel had hit 3 spells instead of 1 spell, I would have just easily won. All right, let's see. Spell, good spell. Oh, that's a great spell. Okay. Pile on the Hullbreaker. They have no cards in hand. Okay. Shallow Grave. My top card is an Orcish Bowmasters. I'm going to put that, it's close. I do want Smuggler's Copter at this point in time. I'm going to put these both on top, actually. And attack Narset, attack my opponent. Oh, actually, I should have put the other order. Well, it's close, because this wouldn't be lethal with Shallow Grave, because they could discard to Una's Prowler. I think actually Copter on top is good. They need something pretty good to win here. Okay. I guess the upside of putting Shallow Grave on top is if they didn't discard to Una's Prowler, I could just kill them. But Smuggler's Copter also sets up next turn a really good sequence. So let's go Smuggler's Copter here. And pass. And now they have to draw Upheaval. And even if they draw Upheaval, that's not like they necessarily win. In fact, if they draw Upheaval, I think I actually still win thanks to Shallow Grave. I would just get to Shallow Grave the Orc and they're at 1. A draw 7 is what they're looking for. And hopefully they don't hit it this turn. Mox Sapphire. Wow, their deck had a lot of power. Okay, Home of Awakening. Oh, and that's game. All right, we are on to the finals here. Oof, did not think we were winning that, but I will take it. Alrighty, time for round 3. Ooh, we've got a fast hand here. You know, it's missing a little bit of action, but I'm not going to turn down turn 1 Malcolm on the play, or draw rather. And Dark Ritual means I have a pretty good chance of hard casting something. Like I could cast a Grave Titan on turn 3 here. Of course, another land wasn't ideal, but if I get at least one hit in with Malcolm, then I'll see another couple cards. It looks like I'm going to. And then I have Una's Prowler as a discard outlet as well. So I'm playing Malcolm, Alluring Scoundrel. Pretty good card. Has done some good work here. Talisman of Dominance. All right, not ideal, but, you know, we're on Team Hardcast Gristlebrand over here. Might be able to get that done. Okay. Hit. Loot. Some action. Well, that definitely qualifies as action. Land. Talisman. Una's Prowler. And now, as long as I draw Grave Titan or Gristlebrand, I'll get a big creature into play. Even if I don't, I am hitting for a pretty good amount of damage in the air here, and I have Recurring Nightmare if Malcolm dies. Opponent got another black-green land, so they're just on the black-green life over there. And you crack their delta. What do they got on turn 3? Another swamp. Wow, we really are just green-black. All right, there's Night's Whisper. That's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. Wouldn't mind drawing Custodial Lich, Grave Titan, Gristlebrand. Any of those things would be pretty sweet. If they don't discard to Una's Prowler, they might be getting hit for 5 next turn. I mean, that's like a pretty good amount of damage. Wouldn't hate to draw Copter or Bowmasters, of course. Would be pretty solid. We'll see. Looks like they're going to do something here. Infernal Grasp the Malcolm. All right. That's fine. I'm going to hit for 3 and then change Una's Prowler into a Malcolm. All right. So I haven't drawn a spell yet, so that's cool. No, I've drawn a Recurrent Nightmare. Recurrent Nightmare is a good card. Let's see how much damage they're going to take or not take here. They discarded a Forest to gain 2 life. It's like a build your own Zern Orb here. And then I'm going to hit for 1. What's going on here? Who's it waiting on? Feels like it's waiting on me, but I'm not sure about that. And then post-combat, Recurring Nightmare, get back Malcolm, pass the turn, and be in a decent position. Okay, take 1. And ready to draw something else. Okay. All right, I don't think it's worth ritualing out the Recurring Nightmare here. The main reason to do that would be if my opponent casts like something like Duress, but haven't seen much of that. Okay. Liliana will take down the alluring scoundrel here. Yeah, I have enough mana to hardcast Gristlebrand now, so... Gristlebrand waiting room. Let's go Shallow Grave. I'm actually not going to attack the Liliana. I'm just going to attack my opponent. And loot here. And what do they have? They have a Sakura Tribe Elder. I'm trying to think if I want to use Exhume. No, I think I'll just discard Exhume. Recurring Nightmare back Una's Prowler here. And then pass the turn. And Lily can +1. I think I'll just discard Island. Discard Forest. Wow, they don't really have a whole lot going on. And then I guess I'll just hit Liliana now. They can discard one card to save Liliana, but I thought looting with Malcolm was just worth so much. All right, draw. All right, let's attack Liliana. They can save Liliana by discarding a card, but in order to keep Liliana at 2 loyalty, they actually have to discard 2 cards. Let's see if they've got 2 cards they don't want here. They do have 6 mana. They spent nothing on it. All right, land. At least one of them's land. If it's another land, then it's like really not unreasonable to just discard both. All right. And then I'm going to Necromancy the Malcolm here. And pass the turn, ready to discard either card. I mean, I guess I could have just gone Ritual. Maybe just Ritual Recurring Nightmare would have been better, actually. But, uh-oh, what did they draw? Not great for me. Oh, Ovenwald Oddity. Yeah, that's not too bad. All right. Yeah, I should have just gone Ritual Recurring Nightmare. But actually, this works out kind of nicely because now I get to hit Liliana with the Una's Prowler. They have no cards in hand. Oh, and I have Pile On for the Ovenwald Oddity. Perfect. Attack Liliana. Attack my opponent. Kill Liliana. Loot. I guess I discard Bitter Triumph, and I'm going to Pile On that thing. I could just wait on the Pile On. I think Pile On's better than Bitter Triumph because Scry 2 is very good here. There's a chance if they draw a land, they'll just spend 7 mana to transform the Oddity. So, but I guess that kind of doesn't matter because if they draw a land, they're still not doing anything with their turn anyway. But they might play the land so they can't discard it to Una's Prowler. So yeah, waiting seems like it makes sense. There's not a whole lot of downside. Our opponent also did not draw great this game. They've drawn 9 lands plus Sakura Tribe Elder, Night's Whisper, Infernal Grasp, and then Oddity and Liliana. So not a great ratio. I guess I drew 5 lands plus Dark Ritual, Mockstrat, Talisman, so who knows. But here we're looking like we're in good shape. We're going to Pile On the Oddity, hit for 5. Doesn't look like I'm going to animate anything. I'm just going to actually win with Una's Prowler and Malcolm here. I think I'm going to take 4. If they don't play anything else this turn, then I think it was worth just, I don't really care about taking the damage. Oh, I will put Fallen Shinobi on top, that's for sure. The sick part is they're probably going to discard the Una's Prowler. I feel like if I killed the Oddity before damage, then they played like a Primeval Titan, I would feel a little foolish here. I think they just drew a land and they're going to discard. All right, well, they can do that later, but I'm going to return the Una's Prowler, Shinobi you down to 1. No, they didn't want to show me. All right. Green-black midrange. Well, I do want Custodial Lich there for sure. Subtlety seems like it could be kind of good, but I'd have to put in more blue cards. Then again, Jace would also be decent. Don't know if Stern Scolding is good yet or not. So what would I want to take out if I were to do that? Duress and Inquisition both don't seem crazy to consider taking out. I still do like Pile On, Bitter Triumph, all that stuff. Because I guess if I put in these 3 blue cards, I could take out my 1-drop and I'd probably take out a swamp, add an island. And at that point, I would need to put in or take out one more spell. It could be Una's Prowler, but I think Una's Prowler is still probably decent. Though maybe it is the worst card. I think the Prowler does enough stuff. No. I like Jace. I'm not sure about Subtlety here. I just feel like I don't have quite enough blue cards to really justify it. So I think Subtlety and Ponder can go out. And then I'll put back in, I think, Duress. And then see how this goes. I do think Jace is pretty good against a removal / Liliana type deck. All right. This hand could use a small flyer, Baleful Strix or what have you, but the play of turn 2 him, turn 3 Talisman plus a 2-drop, turn 4 Ninja seems pretty good. I've got him to clear the path, and I need to find a creature, but I have a lot of creatures with evasion here. Cool, an island. Well, at least I'm glad I put Jason, because it will not be difficult to cast it. All right, let's go him to Turok here. Yeah, Bitter Triumph's not so bad. Him, you. And what do you got? Discard Forest Swamp. Okay, I don't know if that's good or bad yet. If they don't play a land next turn, it would have been amazing to him them. Well, they're cycling a Troll now to get another Swamp, so the him was maybe less than amazing, but also it's possible that they'd miss their next land drop or something as a result. If this is a Liliana, I'm not too worried. Oh, it's a Troll. Sure. Also not too worried. All right, Recurring Nightmare. Not great. Let's just pass. And I think I'm going to Bitter Triumph, paying 3 life. The question for me is... Oh, let's see what they do first. Utopia Sprawl. Gonna kill the Troll. The question for me is, do I just hard cast the Ninja here? I really don't want to. But... if I draw like a land or something... Oh, I drew a Bowmasters? That is excellent. Let's go Recurring Nightmare. So I can't get Duressed now. And then if they play a Bowmaster target, that's fantastic. Okay, what is this? Grave Titan. Oh, that is not fantastic. Okay. Yeah. Wow. All right. I guess I'll Bowmasters you. I have to cast Fallen Shinobi here. There's not very many things that I wouldn't be able to get the Fallen Shinobi through. Like that, if they're playing one card, the Bowmaster plus the token's often enough. But Grave Titan sure was it. I gotta hope that their last 2 cards here, one they drew just for this turn, aren't removal spells. Because if not, I can block down the Grave Titan with Shinobi plus the army. And try to get back into it. Actually, I think I'm going to block with Bowmasters, because here's what I do. I block with Bowmasters plus Shinobi. That takes out the Grave Titan, hopefully. And then I sack the Orc army to get the Bowmasters back, which gives me another Orc army, which then lets me sack the Orc army to get back the Fallen Shinobi. No, they're paying costs? I don't like paying costs. All right, well, I don't think I could have afforded to block with all 3, and it didn't matter. They could have... I guess they couldn't. Fatal Push exactly wouldn't have worked. But and they have Gonti? Okay. The good news is their deck looks really fair. It doesn't look like it's doing anything particularly scary. So I feel like going into Game 3, I'm not too concerned about them having like a super, busted draw or anything like that. This is eminently fair green-black. But I am losing this game. Just casting Grave Titan on turn 5 is a pretty good strategy. So, let's see here. If you miss on Gonti, and then I get to swap in. I mean, I kind of get to The Recurring Nightmare is the kind of card that can win me this game. I'm not saying I'm going to win this game, because obviously I'm very unlikely to. But if I drew like Entomb here, that'd be good. Custodial Lich. No, that is not going to do it quite yet. So let's get Bowmasters back, sack this. Unfortunately, I'm not recurring enough that I should ping a token, I don't think. Land, Recurring Nightmare, recur back Fallen Shinobi. Oh, I guess I could have sacked and killed a token. Yeah, no, that would have been better, because then I go Recurring Nightmare, sack the token, and then ping you again. All right, pass the turn. Problem is getting attacked with 6 things this turn is just going to make it really difficult to try to stabilize or do anything. All right. I mean, I'm going to have to go for this block again. I'm going to take 10 down to 7. What I need to draw is my own Necromancy, and if I can Necromancy the Grave Titan, then I've got a shot there. Also, they have their Gonti card still, plus the card that they drew, so I really don't think this is very likely to work out. Animate Dead. Yeah, that's their Animate Dead, and I drew a land. Okay. So going into game 3 here. Daze? Subtlety? I mean, maybe Subtlety. It's not like I'd like Duress all that much, honestly. I could take out Exhume, because they also have a bunch of creatures in their deck. I could see doing that. All right. Let's see how this goes. I've got Shallow Grave, Necromancy, Recurring Nightmare still. Always have the opportunity to hit with the Fallen Shinobi, and we have the potential with Entomb and Moxjet to have a very fast Gristlebrand. One thing is worth noting against someone who's got Necromancy and Animate Dead in their deck, it's dangerous to Entomb or otherwise discard Gristlebrand unless I need to. All right, well, I'm never going to mulligan this hand. And turn 2, maybe Talisman, maybe Orcish Bowmasters into Recurring Nightmare. So I just need to draw Entomb, and we're good to go. Okay, let's go Talisman. The reason I want to play Talisman is I kind of want to have a target for the Bowmasters before playing it, especially into Fatal Push. And I don't mind waiting a little bit. Unfortunately, that's not a mana dork I can kill. All right, need to draw not lands in order to win this game. I got a lot of cards that would be fantastic to draw here. We've accelerated with Talisman. We were on the play. Drawing Jace would be great. Drawing Fallen Shinobi would be great. Gonna get Gontied. Oh, Shieldred. All right, well, I'm gonna play the Bowmasters. Ping you. Pylon would be great. Basic Swamp less so. Had I drawn Fallen Shinobi, I would just attack with both, but I think I'm just going to pass now. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so far I've drawn 3 land in a row, and it's just not working out great. I could, if I'm lucky, they'll Thought Seize me this turn. Or like Duress me or something. Tear asunder my Recurring Nightmare. Yeah. That is a risk of playing Recurring Nightmare for sure. Okay, Fallen Shinobi time? Grave Titan time? Pylon would be decent too. Like any of those things would be fine. Now drawing Entomb would be pretty bad. Okay, wow, they even get to gain life, but, well, that does actually, even with a Shieldred in play, Night's Whispering with Bowmasters out is a little bit risky. All right, and they gain some life. And Shinobi time? Shinobi time. Yes. Basic Swamp time. I guess I'll hit with the Orc Army. Actually, I'm gonna keep it back because it might make them think that attacking with Shieldred is a risky move. So it seems worth it to me. obviously that isn't really going to work out, but I don't think attacking them matters at all. They're getting 2 life a turn off Shieldred as is, so. Alright, well, unfortunately I don't have anything, so I'm just going to take it. And all right. Well, an unfortunate end. This deck was pretty good. I don't think it was a great deck. I think it ended up being a little weaker than I thought it was going to based on how the first 2 packs went. And then I beat a much better deck in round 2 and then lost to what I don't think was a very good deck in round 3. So that's Magic the Gathering for you. All right, that'll do it for today. Thanks for watching. And you know what? Next time, I'll try to be the person with the busted Academy Fast Spawn deck. We'll see about that. I'll see you next time. New Cube video up tomorrow. Expect to see you there.